Audemars Piguet want to change the way you buy a watch, which has my attention because I'm also interested in reinventing watch retail. That's what the Watch Discovery Studios are all about. The thing is, I've never actually been to an AP house, and I thought today that I would go inside, experience the journey, and choose 3 watches that are actually available here at AP House in Manchester to show you where my head's at with this great brand. But first, a little bit about this building and the concept. This is an 18th century, 1736 to be precise, Georgian townhouse that is 150 years older than AP. So we have this mix of history meets horology. We're going to go on the journey. I'm going to take you through all the rooms. And in each room, there'll be a little Easter egg. There'll be a watch that's waiting there that shows just how much my love for and perception of this brand has changed in the last 6 months. Let's go. Okay, first hot tip to get into AP House, to get into any AP house, you buzz off the street, you get asked what you're here for, say you're here to buy a watch. First thing you notice is this stone. This references a bit of a joke that the only thing that grows in the Vallée de Joux is rocks. And that's the reference to the home of Audemars Piguet, La Brassus in Switzerland. It is an absolutely magical physical place. You should visit one day. Up on the ceiling, we have poplar leaves. Now, in the Industrial Revolution, Manchester was beset with soot and pollution. So they grew poplar trees in their millions. And these were grown not only to soak up that pollution, which they thrived in, strangely, but also because that vertical shape of a poplar tree mirrored all of the chimneys growing up in Manchester at the same time. Now, just across the hall here is the first room where all the watches are, essential viewing. And in fact, it's the only room in all of AP House that has watches in it. So you're going to want to come here. The watches are arranged into sections with a very cute detail. I really like this. Manchester and bees. What is it with Manchester and bees? It's become a symbol of the city because, again, in the Industrial Revolution, the community rallied around this idea that it was the hive of Britain. It was a hive of activity, and they were the worker bees. So these honeycomb cells reflect that cultural nuance. And inside this wall is the 2025 novelty. So we have a Black Beast, we have a QP, we have complicated Code 1159s. And by the way, my watch is sitting here on a tray. Well, don't look yet. Come further down here. Next up, we have gem set watches shining beautifully. And down the back, we have high complications and 2 concepts. So rare things, hard to find things, worth coming just to gawk at, really. Okay, the first choice is wild. I know what you're gonna say. I am completely losing my mind, but I'm choosing this 34mm white ceramic Royal Oak as my choice of a watch that's actually available today at AP House Manchester. It may not be tomorrow, but this is just what's in here today as we speak. Now, I've chosen this watch to make a point. Not that I'm into tiny, small, chic watches, though if you know my Cartier collection, you know that that's also a kink of mine. It's because you need to consider when you buy a Royal Oak, the lug-to-lug distance. Now, while I would never normally entertain the concept of a 34mm watch, look at how reasonably that actually sits on my wrist. So we have white ceramic, we have a perfectly sized for Andrew edition here, opaline or pearlescent white tapisserie dial, rose gold handset, rose gold indices, rose gold applied logo, rose gold screws. So with this varsity jacket, I'm giving it a pass. It is getting into small watch territory, but this is my first choice. So the journey continues. We go up the staircase, touching as you do this aged brass banister that is solid metal. Upstairs is the music room and the bar, and they're basically my 2 favorite things. So let's go. When you come up into the dining and bar area of AP House Manchester, there's 2 things you notice. More art. And that's because AP has this connection to art through the Audemars Piguet Contemporary program. And again, we see these poplar leaves on the ceiling. These are by artist Michelle McKinney. There is one little Easter egg here. There's one little bee attached to that poplar leaf there. And the centerpiece of the room is this solid walnut table, which is in fact the nucleus of all AP houses. There's always a table that is at the heart of each AP house, and that reflects the hospitality that the brand want to show. I prefer a bar myself, and this bar has my second choice of a watch that I think sums up where AP is excelling in 2025, and that is with this beautiful thing. we have the return of the star wheel, and it's a wandering hours complication that was in fact invented in the 17th century. And the way this tells time is just so damn delightful. As you rotate the crown, you will see that the hour indicated by the disc that travels along this minute track at the top perfectly arranges itself to be in sequence despite being on the dial in a jumble of seemingly random numerals. And inside this code 1159 case, there is just so much room for this magic to happen. Now, the star wheel, of course, is referred to in other elements of the watch. We have an aventurine ring around the time-telling centerpiece. We have a black ceramic mid-case, which you'll know is in an octagonal sort of reference shape. And then you have this rose gold or pink gold case, skeletonized lugs. It is so comfortable on the wrist despite its proportion. With this printed and padded rubber strap that's also stitched with a rose gold tang buckle. This is a watch that will get attention, and you're gonna love telling the story of how this watch works. AP always bets big on music, and this is the room I've been waiting to show you. We have John Mayer's PRS guitar over here. We have a whole wall of records, and we have a factory records label here. I'm gonna give you a clue about the most famous song ever released on that label. That's right, Love Will Tear Us Apart by New Order. I've chosen out a couple of records from here. Come on, Disintegration, Gil Scott-Heron, Pieces of a Man, OK Computer, Radiohead. I tried to find some Oasis. All I could find was this guy. But you care about this watch. I have chosen the original Offshore, the Beast in black ceramic. I think this is one of the biggest ways to go big with AP. It is an enormous watch on the wrist. But the reason it gives me warm feelings is not just because it's iconic. It is straight up pure 100% icon power. It's also that it was designed by someone who's now become a friend, Emmanuel Get. Just the trials, tribulations, tantrums this man went through by designing this watch to be a successor to the Royal Oak are legendary. And on the wrist, it's just absolutely uncompromising in black or blue ceramic. This is a big win. Let's go to the roof. A close second to the music room and the bar is this room, the games room at AP House. So we have a shuffleboard, we have darts. And if you come out with me on the deck, I'll show you the watch on my wrist that of all the choices today, I'd be most likely to purchase. A little bit of a story, but let's talk about it. So we've reached the summit of AP House Manchester. We are on the rooftop amongst this glorious skyline. And it makes me think about evolution. This is AP's bet on an evolution of watch retail. It is more personable, it is more hospitable, it is homely. There are now people down there in each of the rooms, customers. There's someone playing records in the music room. There's someone having a cup of coffee in the bar. And I'm left here with one watch to also reflect the evolution that I'm personally on with this brand. When the Code 1159 by Audemars Piguet came out in 2019, I never imagined that I would be interested in this watch. It moved too far, too fast, and it promised more than it delivered at that time. However, 6 years later, I find myself drawn to this blue dial variation with finally an engraved dial. That is a one must-have element of an Audemars Piguet watch. It has it here. This watch on my wrist with its subtle references to the Royal Oak is exactly where I'm at with this brand. I want to be part of the evolutionary chapter. I want to be part of the new Audemars Piguet. And if I was going to buy a watch today, it would be this one, but it would be in green. What about you? Has your taste in AP changed over the years? Has this brand come onto your radar before? Have you been to an AP house? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if this is what you expected from the AP house concept. I can tell you it's been a journey. It's been a multi-level journey through sight and sound. And now I'm going to go back and play that guitar a little bit more. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.